This is your First Alert Weather Breakdown, a deep dive into how weather works with meteorologist Evan Thomason.
Happy Friday, guys. Hope you're having a fantastic day, just like the fantastic weather outside here for today. Yeah, we're looking at bright blue skies and sunshine here for this afternoon. Hopefully, you're looking forward to it as much as I am. Hello, I'm meteorologist Evan Thomason. Hope you're having again, great Friday. It's the last day of the work week, and we saved the best weather for the most important time of the week, Friday and the weekend. If you notice, the past couple Fridays in particular, we've had chances of rain, in particular for Friday night football. We've had rain kind of being a concern for the previous two Friday night football games, but that is not a concern at all for tonight, which is great. And the reason why I'm also bringing that up is because we have lots of cool exclusive content going into sports here for this episode. For the forecast, we're talking about sunshine. We're talking about the weekend. It's looking fantastic out there. The only thing that's going to be not as great is the temperatures because, the sun's back out, so it's going to be warming us up here. In fact, it's going to warm us up enough to where we're going to feel like we're back in the summer, most likely. So look out for that. That'll be coming forward, again, heading into Saturday and Sunday, a little bit today as well, highs in the upper 80s. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of it all in just a little bit. But our exclusive content for today, on for a sports forecast, in with KSLA's Andrew Wellmann. He is right behind the camera. Hi. Just gave me a little wave there. He'll be on in the next he'll be on after just one more commercial break. So, first of all, props to him for coming here early for the podcast. It'll be so much fun, the two of us just talking about both how weather affects sports, and we'll be going over a couple of forecasts for some of our local sports teams, high school, college, and even NFL. There's certain two teams facing off against each other this weekend on Sunday. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Also, a preview of Monday's episode. Monday, we're going back to the tropics again. If you remember, Francine's gone, yes, but there are other areas of interest that have been happening and other things that have been trying to brew up while Francine's been happening. We haven't had time to really talk about it really whatsoever. So we're going to talk about that on Monday. In fact, Tropical Storm Gordon literally just formed today. We'll get into that in just a little bit as well. But let's get into the local weather before I sports myself out. If you saw the morning show this morning, by the way, that was so much fun. Steven and I had so much fun with a one of those tiny little footballs that you throw off like a Mardi Gras float. I was, I think, 4 for 5 on receptions during the entire span of the 2.5-hour morning show. So, if you don't watch the morning show, you're missing out on some content like that. I'm just saying. Anyways, all right, beautiful blue sky and sunshine here across the Arklatex, mainly in for Shreveport. Or let's look at Bossier, actually, heading eastward off of our Shreveport camera, actually, that can turn. It's pretty cool. All right, anyways, the main story for today is the sun returning. It did come back yesterday afternoon, yes, but this is the first full day of where we don't have rain showers. We had rain showers pretty much dying out around this time yesterday when we were talking. Excuse me. Overall, it's warm and dry here through the next several days, and this forecast is not changing too much. This makes my life easier. We can all take a deep breath together here into the weekend, and I don't have to talk about too much threatening our skies in the near-term future at all. So highs to today are probably the biggest change besides the sunshine. Highs into the upper 80s and lower 90s now outside for the Arklatex. 92 in Longview, 89 in Shreveport, 85. Meanwhile, in Hope, just a little bit of cloud cover still lingering around some areas of southwest Alabama. So, highs for today, upper 80s. We might increase those highs by another 2 to 3 degrees here heading into the weekend here for your Saturday and Sunday, and those highs remain in the lower 90s heading into the early part of next week, too. The sunshine remains, so our temperatures pretty much remain the same as well. No change in either of those coming on up. So, our forecast is not going to change too much because Francine is helping us out, actually, this time. Let me get myself a little bit away here so you can see the full picture. There's the remnants of Francine. It is that low pressure that you're looking at just off to our north and east. That is what was Francine, I should say. And over the next several days, it's kind of lost its momentum. It's kind of be drifting afloat here in the atmosphere over the next 2 days at least. By Sunday, areas of rain are still focused around Missouri and states off to our east, which leaves us nice and dry because most of that rain is basically circulating around that low pressure system off to its north and off to its east. And you'll start to see it meander a little bit off to our south and east heading into next week, but all of that rain stays way out to our east. That leaves us nice and dry here. Again, not much rain really projected over the next 7 days. Overall, there is a slim chance of rain actually here for the weekend, heading into Saturday and Sunday, mainly for eastern Texas. Future models are hitting at a little bit of cloud cover gathering itself for Saturday in particular. That could lead into a stray afternoon rain chance with how high the humidity is here for the weekend. But overall, I mean, 10%. 90% chance it doesn't rain. Think of it that way. So yeah, most likely you should be facing just blue skies and sunshine aplenty with highs into the lower 90s. Feels like temperatures getting into the mid 90s here over the next several days. All right, first alert, eye on the tropics here. This is a look at Tropical Storm Gordon. I'm going to get myself out of the way so you can see everything. 40-mile-an-hour winds. It literally just formed about 30 minutes ago and just got named Gordon. It is way out in the Atlantic Ocean. Just for reference, let me show you where this is before I zoom into the specific details. Yeah, this is way out in the Atlantic Ocean. It is going to, at least by Tuesday, it still hasn't even reached the Caribbean, if it does at all. Right now, again, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It could get strengthened a little bit up to 45-mile-an-hour winds before actually downgrading itself to a tropical depression heading into the weekend before kind of regathering itself. You see, it's kind of just meandering. By Tuesday of next week, it's almost the same picture, or it's looking like the same picture of what we're finding out right now, which is winds around 40 miles an hour out adrift in the Atlantic Ocean. And actually beyond Tuesday, the long-term models have it going directly northward after Wednesday of next week. I mean, obviously, that's way down a ways. You get the point. It's going to be a fish storm here, honestly, for the next 5 days or so. So no worries whatsoever for an immediate impact to any land, and specifically the Arklatex here, at least for the next 7 days. All right, 7-day forecast. 89 here today. We got the lower 90s in for your weekend. That carries on into next work week 2, and just slim 10% rain chances in for Saturday and Sunday before. I mean, completely dry conditions for all of next week. Next week should be nice and peaceful, like it is today, hopefully. The next major rain chance I'm not seeing really until next weekend, if that. Some models are picking up on some rain heading into the following Saturday and Sunday, but still plenty of time to see exactly what comes out of that. But you enjoy your sunny weekend. It's just going to be hot. It's going to feel like summer, so get out the water bottle. Mine's over there, dang it. Anyways, I was going to show it to you, but yeah. Grab out the water, drink plenty of water here for the weekend. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid. Again, feels like temperatures up into the mid-90s. We're not talking heat advisory level territory, but close to it. So definitely want to make sure you keep yourself hydrated and use some sunscreen. And maybe enjoy the pool. One of the few times we probably have left to do that with us approaching the middle of September now. All right. Coming up next, we'll have KSLA's Andrew Wellmann. He'll be here with me. After one more commercial break, we're going to go over A, how weather affects sports, and B, some of your forecasts for your local sports teams. Some of them are out of town this weekend. In particular, the college teams are out of town. Again, we'll take a look at the full forecast for those teams after this. All right, welcome back to KSLA First Alert Weather Breakdown. Thank you. Hi, Andrew. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Evan?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for joining me, especially before I know your actual shift, your big night with sports. Usually don't come, on a typical day like today, you usually don't come in until, like 2?
Yeah, 2. I don't mind, though. I live close by, so it was a good walk.
Good walk. Get the blood flowing.
Yeah.
Start you out on this Football Friday.
Yeah, it's a cool day, so it wasn't too bad. I wasn't sweating or anything.
Cool to start off the day, at least.
Yeah.
We'll see about this afternoon. So, all right, so we're going to talk about how weather affects sports. So, obviously, number one, something we were dealing with, again, for the past 2 Fridays is rain.
Yes.
How did that affect kind of the games the past 2 weeks?
So rain is definitely a big factor, especially in the first game I covered was Marshall, and when I tell you there was so much rain, it was pouring in the first quarter, and you could really see the effect of it. There were, I believe, around 10 fumbles in the whole game. And the opening play of the game was a kickoff lead fumble into a touchdown for, I think Tyler, Texas was the team that scored. But so that rain is a big factor. You're usually going to see less throws. You're going to run the ball, and you're going to see it's going to be a more dirty game, if that makes sense. You're going to be in the trenches. There's going to be on the ground, and things are going to be working at all times.
Yeah. Do I see players wearing gloves? Does that help them out at all during that?
A lot of receivers, at least from what I've talked to, especially in high school and even in college, you talk to them, they'll take their gloves off in the rain because the rain makes it hard. Actually kind of ruins the gloves, so it makes it worse. And the other thing is you'll see players taking off their visors, of course, as they can't see, and it becomes a much tougher game in terms of if you want to throw the ball. You're not throwing the ball deep. You are throwing quick passes that are a little more manageable for everybody.
Gotcha. Cool. I'm gonna zoom out the camera just so you can see just a little bit. There we
Yeah,
go.
of course.
You can see all of Andrew. Anyways, cool. Because how tall are you?
I'm 6'1".
Yeah, exactly. I'm 5'7".
No, it's a little bit of a difference.
And even then, just so you know, if you put the rest of our weather team on here, it would be like around the same height as well. You and Chris have quite. You and
we have
Chris
a tall
really.
department.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. So other things that can affect sports, specifically football, is wind. I'm gonna get to wind.
So the wind
Go
and
ahead.
the cold are big factors. So you're going to see that, especially you'll see it in youth, especially like passing the ball. The wind's going to be a strong factor because high school quarterbacks aren't necessarily strong enough to get through those deep passes through the wind. And with that, even in the pros, it's kind of a big deal, especially when you see teams who are coming from a dome. We're both, I'm a Saints fan, you are a Falcons fan. Both our teams play in a controlled environment.
Yes.
And so that's why when it gets around playoff times, you'll kind of see that concern for NFL analysts and even Saints fans and Falcons fans alike when you're looking at, we might have to go to Green Bay, you might have to go to Philly, those colder weather and a really windy, but that cold also is a big factor. That cold, if you have never played a contact sport in the cold, you wouldn't get it, but especially, first of all, just trying to stay hot is really hard. Your muscles are a little more stiff, and then it hurts a lot more hitting each other.
Man.
You're going to feel it a lot more. You're going to feel it down to your core. So it becomes a little tougher, and then even with the cold, you can't feel your hands. You need that, and especially in football, you need to be able to feel the ball.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And so if you can't do that, you're going to struggle. You're going to see things like you'll see a little more struggling on passing the ball because especially if you have a quarterback. I don't think any of our teams have a quarterback with a necessarily super strong arm. But when you have teams like that, you're going to see it'll be a little hard on the receiver because we'll hear from receivers from time to time be like, it's a little hard to catch. Someone like Brett Favre's, if you remember a few years ago, the receivers talked about how they broke fingers on that.
Oh, yeah.
So imagine being in the cold, catching someone throwing a missile at you, just destroying your hand. But the cold is a little tougher for especially teams in that control environment. And then the wind, that's going to affect things like field goal. Like the nice thing about the playing in the dome with the Saints is your passing game is not affected by the wind.
Oh, no.
Not affected by the wind or the cold. You are going to be able to throw the ball no problem. That's a big change though when teams are traveling. It's even in high school, even at every level, that cold and wind is going to be a factor.
That's why I feel like some of those teams up north need domes for the cold a little more. It's a little more natural. I know there's some history to say like a stadium like Green Bay. Go ahead.
I think especially like the AFC North, all those teams. The fun thing about the end of the season is those AFC North teams beating each other up in terrible weather. And I think it's just at this point, a lot of those people are just kind of, they like it.
There's a lot more memories too.
There's a lot more memories. It's kind of embracing a tradition of, this is how football's supposed to be played. And as much as it's supposed to be played like that, but should it?
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you having me here.
No problem. Just real quick answer on this. Hail.
Hail.
Have you been at a hailstorm game?
I've never been to a hailstorm game, but I have seen hail, and hail is not fun.
No. God, it's almost like a weight on top of the raindrops. And you go ahead.
In my experience with hail, you never expect it to be hail. At first, you're like, oh, that feels weird. Then you just the little pellets start flying, and you're like, oh, that's solid mass coming from the sky.
Gotcha, man. It's rough. It's rough to say the least. All right, we have a forecast actually for several sports games. So if you want to take one step to your left, a little closer to me.
So tell me, what was the game's going to look like?
What's the game's going to look like? All right, let's pull up the graphics here. Our Friday night game of the week, at least this is what was sent to me actually 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if you guys changed it or not.
I'm unsure.
It's fine. we picked out a game anyways. So we'll preview one. You get the picture. It's the forecast across much of the area around Shreveport here over the next several days. It's between Homer and Haynesville. The Homer, I like their logos when I was choosing
Those are cool.
out.
Haynesville's like the little Cyclone's cool too. Same with Homer. That's a really nice pelican? Question mark?
I believe so. Yes.
It looks
like
one.
Fighting Pelicans. Yeah.
That's a cool name.
I know you're still getting used to some of the team names around here.
Definitely.
There's tons of high school teams.
You know, they're a little more interesting. I think Shreve has a really cool helmet. If you've seen it, they have like a gator-themed helmet. It's very unique, and I mess with it.
I'll have to check that out. Anyways, a high school football around here for Friday night. We cleared out the rain just in time. No chance, zero, zilch.
I love that because the last 2 weeks have been a little rainy, and I've not been looking forward to going out and filming in that.
Because then you have to bring out the rain gear on top of the camera equipment, right?
Yeah, and with my glasses too, especially that first game at Marshall, I could not see through the camera. I could not see out my eyes because my glasses were covered in rain.
Jeez. Might be a little toasty to start, especially with the humidity, but especially as we carry on through the game, it should be nice for you.
Oh, perfect. Thank
you. 73 by the end of the game.
That's
all right,
nice and comfortable.
Exactly. So that's for your local Arklatex weather. And then, again, we have some college teams on the road. First, LA Tech. They're taking on NC State and the Wolfpack. Kind of an unusual game in Raleigh, North Carolina. First of all, comfortable temperatures.
Oh, so that's a nice, comfy game.
Yeah, that's a nice, comfy game. Only a 10% rain chance in for you there, but obviously you like your chances of staying dry.
We'll see how the Bulldogs do against the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it's going to be a little rough for them. Not going to lie. Also, a little bit of a test we'll see is LSU taking on South Carolina in Columbia, South Carolina, then the state's capital there. What do you think there?
I just need the defense looked great against USC, a little more shaky against Nichols, and that's a little concerning to me. They are an FCS
especially
still.
Early.
So I need them to kind of just prove their point. If the defense can keep a team around 20 points and the offense can kind of produce as to what they did last week, the Tigers can be really good and still make them way into the playoffs. It's just a little more concerning of making sure everything works out because the team has looked a little shaky in both games.
Same thing there is comfortable temperatures. Also, I don't know why my automated graphics are showing that it's nighttime in Columbia, South Carolina.
I don't know. It's
I know you want to know. I don't know why either. But anyways, a 10% rain chance overall. The game should be fine, especially with the temperatures. Temperatures in the mid-70s over in South Carolina. It's kind of near Raleigh, North Carolina anyway, so both of our local teams though. Exactly. One team that I want to talk about real quick that we don't have a forecast for because they already played is Northwestern State. They played last night.
God.
I sent you this.
Yeah,
actually, the score last night. But 87-10 against South Alabama.
I saw that it was the most points scored by a college team since like the 90s.
Oh, jeez.
And that, what do you even say to
I feel so
at the
bad.
end of the game? Like, why are you still scoring after you're up by 60? Just run the ball, run it out.
I think they ended the game early. I might have to check on that.
I think that happened also to was it Arkansas when they took on that FCS team at the week one?
Something like that. I've heard about that.
They shortened the quarters, which is like the first time they've done that in like forever.
Rough stuff. Anyways, the big game of the week, before the big game, I forgot about Grambling. How could I forget about Grambling? I'm sorry. We've got temperatures a little toasty in for tomorrow's kickoff in Commerce, Texas. They're taking on Texas A&M Commerce. Interesting game there. I'm not sure what Grambling's record is. Do you know?
The Grambling is 1-1. They did lose their opener against I believe it was Lafayette. I may be wrong, but they looked pretty good last week. Their starting quarterback for 4 touchdowns. They put up 37 points in the first half. Problem is
defense
did not score for the rest of the game, so they still won 37-20. But their offense kind of slowed down. So you want to see that explosive offense again.
We'll see if they pick up momentum. And then now the big rivalry, especially for the Arklatex of the weekend. Saints and Cowboys.
See, I'm excited for
I heard a who-dad over there.
Well, this is Saints country. As much as you want to
argue
it.
You think so? I'm a Falcons fan. I can't even argue with any of these.
Yeah, you guys didn't score a touchdown, huh?
Look,
you did.
all I know, first of all, we did.
We did.
Our
You still
offense
lost. You lost to a team that didn't score a touchdown.
Our offense was terrible last week. Look, all I know is somebody's going to lose this game. That's all that matters to me.
See,
Ha.
here's how I feel looking into
ahead.
this game.
Yeah.
As a sports reporter, I do think the Saints offense looked promising. They did take on a bad team in Carolina, but you cannot ignore 47 points. You can't. Even if it is hard to score that many points in the game.
That is true.
On their first 9 possessions, they walked away with points, which is really impressive. So as long as the defense can hold maybe the Cowboys to, I want to say, around 20-ish points, if the offense can just get to 25, I think they can win. The question is, can Derek Carr replicate his success? Because as a lot of Saints fans know, if you watched Derek Carr last year, it was very up and down. Those raw numbers at the end of the year did look good, but a lot of it was made up in garbage time. So you have to throw the ball, and that's why he's going to get those stats. So if he can look good like he did last week, don't throw any picks, have a clean game, I think the Saints can walk away from Dallas going 2-0.
I know you're a Saints fan, but I got to go. Prediction-wise, legitimacy, I got to go with the Cowboys, especially at home. What I will say, though, is I think the total over-under might be as much as these temperatures. It's going to be a little toasty in for the day. At least there's no chance of wet weather. But, yeah, it might be toasty walking out of the game, 96 degrees. I'm thinking offensive game. One last thought.
No, I don't think so. Both teams have really good defense. I think, and even in the past, when both teams had high-powering offense, we had 9 to 10 games 2 years in a row. So I think it's going to be another tough, scrappy game. That's what I'm saying. If the Saints can get to 20, they might be able to walk away with a win.
We'll see. Yep. Thank you very much for joining me again. I know you're
me.
looking forward to the games here tonight.
I'm really excited for tonight.
I'm glad. Thank you very much for joining me again, Andrew. Appreciate
Thank you for having me,
You
Evan.
thank you guys for watching. I'll have a recap of this episode, and we'll look forward to next week's stuff. We'll talk about that coming up in just a bit. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right, welcome back to KSLA News 12, First Alert Weather Breakdown. Again, I'm meteorologist Evan Thompson. Thanks again to Andrew for coming on for this segment. We got to wrap this up actually really quick. We have a segment coming up at 11. I'll preview that a little bit later, but I just wanted to get you the rundown for the rest of the things happening here for the work week. Again, thanks for another successful week of KSLA News 12 First Alert Weather Breakdown. I cannot thank you guys enough. If you want us to talk about something in particular, weather breakdown at KSLA.com. You can also message us on Facebook. We air this every single weekday, 10:30 a.m. So, yeah, we're taking a break for the next 2 days, but that's for the weekend. Get out and enjoy it. Maybe not, I don't know, watch me on your phone, whatever device you have. Get out there and enjoy the sunshine, that's for certain. Coming up on Monday, we'll have a look at the tropics. Tropical Storm Gordon just recently formed. We'll see how that's going heading into early next week. And there's 2 other areas of interest currently that could develop in the next few days. We'll see that. Both are in the Atlantic Ocean, though, so nothing to worry about for the weekend in the Gulf of Mexico, which is good news there. All right, so I just wanted to thank all you guys again for watching. YouTube, thank you guys for watching as well. We started that just this week. We're probably going to do that every single episode now, which is going to be great. I am enthusiastic and looking forward to that. On YouTube, you can write in the chat some of your questions if you have them, and I can answer them live on air. I don't have time to do that today, but heading into next week, you want to write down your questions or write down any comments you have about the show live. I can respond to them in real time. I see that there's no comments there right now. I just see that there's 4 viewers. Thank you, guys, for watching again today. You have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday at 10:30. Till then, peace out and have a good weekend. Enjoy the sunshine.